Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Knuppe Ranch. So I haven't filmed for a couple days, and so now we've got 2 calves on the ground. So we've started calving, and today's Thursday, and it's supposed to start raining this afternoon, and it's supposed to rain Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So for 4 days now, well, 3.5, I guess, since it's starting this afternoon. But so this morning, Dad moved 1 pair yesterday afternoon, but nothing's tagged yet or anything, so we're gonna go down and see if we can tag something or just move some pairs. And then we're gonna take the cows and get everything on this side of the creek and move them up to that hayfield where we set that electric fence up, so that if we get a lot of rain and the creek floods, then we can still check stuff. We don't have to worry about stuff that's stuck on the other side of the creek from us. So we're gonna get the cows moved over to there, and we got to move some bale feeders around and stuff for these heifer calves. So we're just getting stuff ready for some rain this morning. Yesterday morning I had 1 pig that escaped, but looks like all 3 are in this morning, so that's good. But I think I found where they got out, and I put a piece of tin over it so the one wouldn't be able to get out anymore. But yeah, that's a good thing about having 3 pigs, more than 1, is that if only 1 gets out, they usually stick by pretty close, because they like being close together, so that it's not like they're gonna run off. It's just as long as all 3 don't get out. Bull calf that was just born yesterday afternoon, and so with the weather changing and it getting cooler and all the moisture they're predicting is going to come in the next 4 days, we're not going to tag him or cut him, just because, well, we don't want to cut him because we don't want anything open on him that moisture could get into and he could get infected, or so we're just going to leave him alone for now. And we're not going to tag him, just so we know it's a bull calf that we need to tag at branding, so we remember that we need to cut him when we're branding too. So this middle piece here, this is the piece that we usually move our pairs into. Once they've calved, we'll move them both into here. So this cow is currently calving. She's gonna have a calf soon, and she just come by herself, so we decided to put her in here too. So we've got, once this cow calves, we'll have 3 pairs in here, and then we've got 1 cow that lost her calf that we moved in here. So the reason why we move pairs instead of just keeping them out there is so then once we get like 20 pairs moved into this middle piece, then we'll take them in and we'll brand those 20 and haul them over to summer pasture, and then we'll just repeat that process. Basically, it just makes it so that when we want to calve and do a small bunch, or when we want to brand and do a small bunch, we don't have to go through all the cows and figure out exactly which cow goes to what calf and find the pairs and move them. This way they're already together, and most of the time they come by themselves anyway and walk over here, and they know to come into this middle piece. So it just makes it easier for us come branding time. Okay, we're gonna get the bobcat started, and Dad's going to feed some stuff. We got to put a bale in for that middle pen, and then take some bales down to the cows, set them out down there for those, and then move a bale feeder up for the heifers. And I think we decided we're just gonna go ahead and get the heifers in right now anyway, and we can always let them out. So we're gonna get this bobcat started and get doing some chores. Thanks a lot. Just come up with it, but I might have to name her S'mores because she loves the marshmallows. That'd be a good name. So the pigs are getting a little low on bedding, and I'm out of hay in here, dry hay. So I'm gonna go replenish my hay supply and get it under here so it'll be dry before it starts raining this afternoon, so that I can keep a good bed in here for them to burrow into to stay warm if it gets too cold at nights and stuff. So they got a little hay there, but they pick at it and they eat a lot of it, and then they end up kind of trampling a lot of it and spreading it all out, so it kind of disappears fairly quick. But I'm gonna go get them some more. I'm gonna try to get them some alfalfa in there too, so that they got some leafy stuff they can chew on. this is a homemade 2-bale feeder. You can fit 2 bales in it side by side. So I don't know, for some people that have been watching our channel since we, like the very beginning, since we started a year ago, we used that 2-bale feeder last winter during a storm when we had the calves down by our heifer barn. So we used that a long time ago. So I don't know, maybe some of you guys will remember that, maybe some of you won't. But we're putting it up here now because we'll lock these heifer calves in this north feedlot, just so they'll be in here. We can feed them. They've got shelter because it's supposed to rain for 4 days. So we will feed them bales because we are out of ground hay, and it's a little late now to call and get some hay ground, and it'd be kind of pointless to call and get some hay ground because we'd only use it for this weekend. So we'd pay a bunch of money to have hay ground, and then wouldn't really get a ton of use out of it other than just this weekend. So it wouldn't be worth it for us. So we moved this bale feeder up here so that we can feed them in this bale feeder for the next, over this weekend anyway, the next 4 days. So yeah, Dad's gonna fill it with hay right now. So we went to a bull sale yesterday, and up in Faith, South Dakota. Had a wonderful time there. Had a wonderful lunch, had some delicious pie, and then bought 2 bulls. So we haven't tested our bulls yet, so we don't know if they're all good or all bad, but we knew we needed at least one. But Dad ended up buying 2 yesterday, so we'll have 2 bulls just in case, but we'll still use them obviously. So our bulls, we kind of like the smaller frame, more lower birth weight heifer bulls. Well, for our cows as well. We like the smaller birth weight and the calving ease bulls, and so that the guy that we get our bulls from, Bart Carmichael at Wedge Tent Ranch up in Faith, he does a lot of the same things we do. He follows a lot of the same principles we do as far as rotational grazing and calving ease and calving later, and all those same principles that we're implementing, he's also implementing into his. So we really like his operation, and we really like his bulls. So we ended up getting 2 of them this year. So I think they're getting delivered the end of June, so we'll be able to use them this summer. But so yeah, if you guys are in the market for a really, really nice grass-fed bull, that's the place to go. So Dad and I were just talking about how, like, a couple days ago we were kind of getting bored and we were ready to start calving, just because really didn't have much else going on. So we was just ready to get it going and get into the thick of it. But so we were talking about that, how just a couple days ago we were ready to get started and we were kind of bored, and now we've really only been calving for like 1 day now, because our first calf was born yesterday. So we were just talking about how we had our first calf born yesterday, and now we have 3 pairs on the ground and a whole bunch more springing down there. And so yeah, we're moving pairs already and tagging calves. So yeah, we're talking about how fast it changes, and now we're into calving. fed the cows in this piece just to kind of get everything across to here, but we're gonna wait a couple hours or until like right after lunch. It's supposed to start raining about 3 o'clock, so as long as it's before 3 o'clock. But we're gonna feed these cows in the spring, which is the next piece over, and the spring is our most protected place where we keep cows. When we used to calve in March, we'd always calve out in the spring just because of the protection in there when it was cold and stuff. But so we're gonna move them into the spring so that we can lock them in there, so then everything it will be on this side of the creek, so we can continue to feed them if we need to, depending on how bad the storms are and how bad the rain is. Because right now they're eating hay, they're coming to hay really good, and they're cleaning up hay, so they want to be fed right now. So we're gonna feed them in the spring, lock them in there for a day or two, and then we'll let them out into this hay field. But the reason we didn't just feed them in the spring right now and lock them in there now is because well, we needed to get everything on this side of the creek, number one, and they cross in this pasture, not the spring. And then we also need to take a bale from down here, and we're going to get the heifers in and lock them in that feedlot, because the pasture that the heifers are out in right now that they're grazing in, that borders the spring. So, and we didn't want them heifers crawling through the fence in to get in with the cows. So we're gonna get the heifers locked in the feedlot and feed them in there, and get them situated before we move the cows up into the spring. Kivvies. Come on, Kivvies. Look at the bobcat. Go get some hay. Come on, Kivvies. Come on, Kivvies. Come on, Kivvies. Good shot. I just got shocked really good. I think it's because the chain touched that bottom wire. So I'm gonna try to just get it. It might be the cable, I don't know. So if I get shocked, good heat on it. That was a good shock. Wow. Huh. All right, so all the heifers are in. We're gonna wait a couple hours, and then we'll go down and feed the cows in the spring and get them moved and locked in there, so that everything will be on this side of the creek, so we can get to them if the creek rises a lot, which it probably will. So yeah, everything's in and good to go. So here's a little update on the flatbed. We got this other side rail on because we decided to do a different thing for our fuel cap, and then we started painting it. So we got some touch-up areas to do, but we ran out of paint, so we need to get more paint to finish it, and then we'll go over it all again and make sure we get all the spots that we missed the first time, or all the little tricky spots too. So she's getting painted anyway now, so it's we'll be wiring it after we get done painting, and then mounting it on the flatbed. All right, it's after lunch now. I'm gonna run out across the creek. Dad's going out there across the creek to where the pears are, where we moved them pears to this morning, and he's gonna take a bale out there for him, or a couple bales out there for him. So if it starts raining and the creek rises and we can't get out there, then at least they've got some food. And I'm gonna run out there on the four-wheeler and see if that cow that was calving this morning has had her calf, and check on them. And then I think we're gonna run down the creek. And Dad fed the cows in the spring, but there's still some on the other side of the creek that we need to go out and get to this side of the creek so that we can get them in the spring. And it sure looks like it's gonna rain. According to my phone, it's not supposed to rain until like 2 or 3 in the morning, but I kind of find that hard to believe just with how dark them clouds are. But anyway, we're gonna go try to get some stuff done here before it starts raining on us. Looks like he's doing all right. Hopefully she was just out grazing. She wasn't right next to him, but hopefully she gets him up and moves him down here into the trees a little bit. Because according to my phone, it's not supposed to rain until like 3 in the morning, but I think that is not correct at all, because I just heard some thunder. So I got to get back in there and grab Dad. We're gonna run down the creek and get these make sure all the cows down there are across the creek and in the spring. So if it starts raining here, then we know everything's good to go for this little storm. Hey. Come on, boss. Hey. Come on, boss. Hey. Sorry, boss. Hey. Hey. So we got them going in the right direction, and it looked like they were gonna cross and get over here to this side of the creek. So we hurried around to get around them and push them to the spring, but they stopped right on the other side of the creek and they didn't cross yet. So Dad just crossed the creek by foot. He's gonna try to get them to cross, and I'm gonna keep calling them here and see if they can come. Boss! Come on, boss! Ah, dang it. Well, they all went the other way. Must have got scared at Dad. Ran around the other way. Shoot. Saw, boss. Saw, boss. Come on, girls. Right by the gate. That was our plan all along, right? All right, attempt number 2 to get them across the creek worked. It's kind of tricky when they don't cross where you want them to, and they kind of walk along. It's kind of hard. It's hard to find a good spot for them to cross because it's just steep banks like this, and then steep on that side. So there's places where they can cross, but there's not a ton. There's places where they can cross, but there's not a ton of places. So you kind of got to find the right spot for them to push them across at. So we finally got them cows across the creek. There's just one pair that's still in here that's tucked away in the trees, but they're on this side of the creek. So we figured she'd be just fine for now, for a couple days. But if she gets him up and moving and they come up here, we'll let them in. We'll kick them in here too, but they're all right for now anyway. We're gonna lock these cows in the spring just in case if something starts calving, they'll probably walk out and calve away from the herd. So we're gonna lock them in here so that they gotta stay in here, and then we can feed them and stuff. But this is our most protected pasture in the spring here. Dad and I got the 4-wheeler stuck in a draw on the way back in. That was fun. I should have turned the camera on. I don't know why I didn't think about it, but it's almost gonna storm, so we were just trying to hurry, so I didn't turn it on. But it would have been kind of comical. Sure looks like it's gonna get pretty nasty pretty quick, but it's kind of looked like that for the last 45 minutes. So I don't know whether it's gonna hit us or not, but it looks pretty nasty. Okay, I just got back to the yard here. I'm gonna lock my pigs in the barn. Okay. Here. Never mind, Mom. Okay, pigs are shut in. They can't get outside, so they'll be dried in inside the barn here. Cows are good. Heifers are good. Pairs are good. yeah, I think we're ready for it to rain. Finally, that was a fun afternoon. Wasn't too bad really, but I guess the next time I pick you guys up, we'll probably be hopefully we'll be checking out the rain gauge, see how much rain we got. So with that, I think that's just about gonna do it for this video. So thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, we'll catch you in the next one.